Hi, I'm Brett Parker, Multimedia Specialist for Packaging Strategies magazine. Today we're focusing on sustainability in next-gen packaging materials. And here to discuss this with us is Brian Gordon, President and COO of Verde Bioresins Inc. Brian, thank you so much for joining us today.
It's my pleasure to be here. Thank you very much, Brett.
Now, what crucial sustainability steps have been taken with packaging materials within the last 5 years?
So, packaging companies and strategic thinkers have been looking at the 4 R's, and that's the first is to reduce the amount of material in packaging. The second is to reuse the packaging if possible. The third is recyclability, and of course, the fourth is really rethinking the materials used to create the packaging, like Verde's polyethylene resin, which is bio-based, generally curbside recyclable, and landfill biodegradable.
What are some of the biggest challenges companies face in making packaging materials more versatile?
Sure. So when you go to the rethinking section, looking at bio-based and biodegradable materials, the biggest challenges become cost and functionality. Um, Many of the bio-based biodegradable products are very expensive, and some tend to be brittle and temperature sensitive. So you've got to look at over those overall functions and determine from a cost standpoint, the question becomes, can I use existing manufacturing facilities to convert the product, or do I have to create an entirely new infrastructure to enable that to happen?
Could you describe some outdated packaging strategies you feel have been left behind in the name of progress?
So, unfortunately, um, utilization of glass and metals, which are recyclable and reusable, have really fallen behind. And that's primarily a function of cost and a function of the weight related to those products. The lighter weight products are easier to ship. They're less expensive overall. They use less materials. While glass and metal are great products from a sustainability function, they're just too costly.
What is the most crucial innovation you've witnessed recently in packaging sustainability?
So for me, we developed our polyethylene resins um, to enable us to replace traditional plastics in the market for polyethylene and polypropylene, which represent roughly half of the 800 billion pounds of plastic used each year. And we've been able to achieve that on a drop-in basis. So every national brand, every converter, they can use the existing products, and meaning they can use the existing equipment and just basically take our products and drop them in instead of traditional plastics. So it's to me, in terms of an interim and a long-term solution, it's huge. And that's what we've been trying to achieve.
Are there sustainability goals that haven't been reached yet that you feel will be accomplished in the near future? And how do you plan on achieving that?
So there are really two ways of looking at um, renewable and renewable products. One is um, the recyclability of products. So plastics that can be recycled um, are circular, as well as bio-based, biodegradable products are circular with a favorable end of life. And ultimately, at Verde, we've started with creating bio-based products that are biodegradable. So if they end up in a landfill, and in the United States, 85% of all products effectively end up in the landfill, all plastics, then it'll biodegrade. If they end up in a recycling stream, then they'll be recycled with traditional plastic. Um, but there's a tremendous emphasis on recycling in the United States, which is admirable. And as a result of that, we're working on some additional products that include post-consumer recycled plastic as well. And we think that that'll be a great offering for the market too.
Well, that's all the time that we have for today. Brian Gordon, President and COO of Verde Bioresins Inc., thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, Ben.
And thank you all for joining us today.